The rain has never looked so good. For the first time since the Cory fire in Jefferson County started last week. On Tuesday, the weather is not actively working against firefighters. It actually fell rain on the fire line today. And while that rain might not have helped super amounts with the fire, officials say it did provide a boost to morale. Good evening. I'm Jennifer Meckles. Firefighters are reporting very optimistic updates this weekend on the Cory fire. It's now at 35% containment, and more than 1,000 families were able to return to their homes this weekend. Our Kelly Rinke is in Jefferson County tonight. They just wrapped up a press conference within the last half hour. Kelly, the weather is really different today than what we saw in the last week.
Oh my gosh, such great relief for firefighters who are on the front lines and have been dealing with some heat. Got some storms rolling in and a little bit of rain, which definitely boosted morale. But the sheriff's office says it really didn't impact their firefighting efforts. Shifting winds, though, is definitely something they're going to keep an eye on. They're shutting off power in some of the impacted areas to protect lines located in a space firefighters are burning. It's on the west side of the wildfire. But the sheriff's office says it's only in an area that contains homes still under a mandatory evacuation order. First responders are incredibly happy right now with the progress made. Last week looked much worse.
Our firefighters are amazing. When you've got this many agencies coming together, remember, close to 75% of these are volunteer firefighters. In this terrain, folks, it was concerning last week of how effective we could be and how quickly we could be, and these guys tore it up.
Firefighters are doing controlled burns on the west side of this wildfire. It's in a wide open space that hasn't been mitigated in a while. They hope to do that for another day or two, and the hope is that it will be able to lift some of those mandatory evacuation orders. Live in Jefferson County, I'm Kelly Rinke, 9 News.
Kelly, thank you so much for that update tonight. And 6 days into the Alexander Mountain fire, crews there say they also have good news in fighting that fire tonight. Just an hour ago, we got an update from Larimer County. 9 News reporter Rachel Kraus joins us live from that area tonight. Rachel, the fire crews say the fire's not growing, and that's a big deal because yesterday they said it's growing slower. Now today they can say it's not even growing at all. That's great news.
Yeah, Jenny, they say that this fire is at 9,668 acres, and thankfully that number has not changed. And now with this fire at 54% containment, they're feeling really hopeful. And today, crews say they've got the whole eastern side of the Alexander Mountain fire controlled. That side and all the way from Highway 34 to Midway contained. Fire crews will continue to have a presence in that area, but they say the fire won't be leaving. It's slow work, but with so much vegetation on the ground, they're making good progress. Still, more than 1,100 people are still under mandatory evacuation, and 26 residential structures have been lost to the fire. Others have been damaged, and soon families in the area will be able to get a look at the damage in their homes to see what's left from the fire.
That is a grieving process, just like losing a loved one or losing a pet, that our community members are going through.
Officials say some families will be able to go back to their homes on Wednesday, but to do that, you have to be credentialed on Monday or Tuesday. They'll have locations for families to do that both in Estes Park and in Loveland. We'll have all that info for you on this web story at 9news.com. Now, as for what caused the fire, officials say that's still very much under investigation. Reporting live in Loveland, Rachel Kraus, 9 News.
Rachel, thank you. One more fire to talk about. The Stone Canyon fire near Lyons is now 90% contained tonight. That one burned over 1,500 acres, including the destruction of 5 homes. And first responders also found someone dead in one of those homes. The person has not yet been identified. All evacuations have now been lifted. All roads are back open. And firefighters are only asking you to call 911 if you see flames or smoke outside of the fire perimeter. So it won't be unusual if you see some smoke and them still working in the perimeter. They're mopping up, and they say hot spots may produce a little smoke. Here's a live look now downtown over Denver. We got a little bit of rain, but it has been hot. Hot today. DIA hit 102. The 6th day in triple digits so far this year. Meteorologist Cory with the Weather Impact team joining us now. We're just begging for a break here, something to help the firefighters.
Exactly. We're getting a few, afternoon breaks here and there, and a bigger break is coming down the line. So that 100-degree heat not doing anything helpful for the fire conditions. We see those rain showers out here back along the foothills. That, I mean, it's not nothing, but these rain showers are fairly meaningless when it comes to actually preventing drought conditions and any impact on those fires that are currently burning. Also, this rain, you can kind of see it evaporating as it falls. So that tested some of these burn areas with some pretty strong wind gusts, 30 to 40 miles per hour, and it's pretty encouraging to see that there were no big flare-ups. Current temperatures actually getting down into the pretty comfortable range here along the Denver metro area after these high temperatures of the day. It actually did hit 102 degrees here just briefly, and that maybe a minute or two, and that does break the record, the old record of 98 degrees here. So as far as 100-degree days, this is the third most 100-degree days that we have ever seen in the city of Denver. The next 3 hours looking pretty comfortable. We get down to about 80 degrees by 10 o'clock tonight, and we'll be talking about the fire danger continuing. Thunderstorms will get more and more meaningful as we go through the day or through the week, and a cooler pattern is on the way. We're talking about all that, Jenny.
All right, Cory, thank you. The family of a 14-year-old girl shot and killed in Aurora says it's time for someone to come forward with information and for police to step up their investigation. Our Angeline McCall spoke with that family today. Angeline?
Jenny, 14-year-old Kamaya Cleveland leaves behind her family and 2 younger siblings. In what's been almost a month since her passing on June 6th, her family says that they've learned little about the investigation from police, but want to remain hopeful that someone will come forward with information. For 29 days, the Cleveland family has waited for answers.
It's one long day is how it's felt since Kamaya's been gone.
And without answers, 29 days has felt even longer without 14-year-old Kamaya Cleveland.
As usual, anytime she get ready to leave, she give you that hug and kiss, Nan, I love you. Always. And then 5 hours later, this happens. 5 hours later. That soon. Yeah, it's pretty devastating.
On July 6th, Kamaya went to a friend's birthday party at around 9 p.m. Family says she was in the car ready to leave, but some kind of fight broke out from the party. A bullet hit Kamaya in the head near Highland Hollows Park in Aurora.
Yeah, she was in the car when it happened. She wasn't even involved. She was literally an innocent bystander.
Her mom, Crystal, says that she's barely heard from the investigating agency, the Aurora Police Department.
I have not received one phone call from the Aurora Police Department. I have not spoken with the detective that's on my daughter's case one time. And they haven't reached out to me. They haven't said anything.
But between the cameras and the party goers, somebody knows something. Right. And for there still not to have been anything that happened to my niece who was so young and didn't deserve it, it's like beyond frustrating.
Family expected more answers by now, and by the time her birthday came earlier this week.
She was supposed to be 15. That was the hardest day this far, was having a birthday party that she wasn't at.
That was really hard because it's like, her little sister blew out her candles, and it's like she should have, been here to blow out her candles. And it's just because of a senseless act of violence that she couldn't do it.
They wonder how many firsts they'll have to endure without information and without justice.
In 29 days, I calculated that's nearly 700 hours. Like, that's just the amount of time that we're sitting here waiting, the amount of time that we're, are grieving, and the amount of time that the person who did this gets to just carry on like nothing happened. And it's not fair.
It's not fair.
Police say at least 2 other young girls were injured as part of the shooting. We did reach out to the police department about the family's concerns as well as where the investigation stands. They said there is little they could provide to us in response, given that it is a weekend. We'll update the story as we hear any advancements or changes on this case. In the studio, Angeline McCall, 9 News.
Angeline, thank you. A trial is set to start tomorrow for a man accused of shooting and killing his mother in Aurora 3 years ago. Ryan Avery was 39 years old when Aurora police say he killed 70-year-old Deborah Avery. Court documents show his sister found the woman dead in a recliner in her living room, and this was at her home on South Granby Street back in June of 2021. Police say they recovered a gun and ammo in Ryan's car. Deborah's daughter also told police she had recently taken over her mother's finances and believed Ryan did not like that arrangement. Ryan's trial is scheduled to last a little more than 2 weeks. The trial of former Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters will pick back up tomorrow. The Republican faces 7 felony charges for tampering with her own county's voting systems. She admitted to sneaking someone into her office's voting system as they unsuccessfully searched for evidence of election rigging. Peters' attorneys argue Peters was just doing her job, preventing voting information from being erased before the voting system was upgraded. We're expecting 2 more days of witness testimony from the prosecution before the defense will present its case.